Hello, welcome to Created for This. I am Danielle Roberts, and we're going to talk about 3 things to implement to start the year off right. As I am recording this, it is March, but I am a firm believer that you can start things over and get things going any time of the year. It's not imperative. January 1st is not a magical day. And I think that there's a lot of us who are kind of in that place where we get through the holidays and we need rest, or we either plan things out in the beginning of December and then implement in February or March, or maybe we just need these constant reminders of it's okay to start whenever. It's good to just jump in, and there's a time for everything. We don't have to just use January 1st as the magical start date or restart date for our goals and plans, because I know you all have them. So I'm going to give you a few things that I am seeing be very effective for my coaching clients, for myself, in how we are attacking business, how we are living intentionally and purposefully, and how we are being good stewards of the businesses and the homes that God has given us. The first thing is decisive action. Deciding and sticking with your decision eliminates decision fatigue and overthinking. So deciding things ahead of time, no working on Saturdays, answering emails and messages at certain times, picking a few people to learn from them in 2026 or whatever year you're listening in, those people will help influence you. So those are a couple different ideas for business and at home too, honestly. Deciding things ahead of time. I said no work on Saturdays. That's something that I have done for, it's supposed to be Sundays. Those are things I've been doing for a long time. Not working on Sundays, having that be our intentional day of rest, where we focus on family, where we take naps or read books all day and go to church as a family. Answering emails and messages at certain times that can give you boundaries. So when you have emails coming in, you're like, okay, at 2 o'clock, I'm going to answer my emails. Or at 10 o'clock in the morning, I'm going to answer emails. There is a bit of freedom that comes when you decide when you're going to answer those emails and when you're going to get back to people. Text messages, Voxer messages, emails, whichever applies. And then picking a few people to learn from in this year. This is one thing that I shared with a friend, and she goes, oh my gosh, that makes so much sense. Really, learning from a bunch of different people can get so overwhelming. I used to listen to all the things and take in all the information. Frankly, there's a lot of talking people out there. If you're listening to my podcast, I am so honored that you took your time to listen to me, because I know you have so many different options when it comes to podcasts and filling your ears with things. So thank you. But I do want to acknowledge there's a lot of people out there. There's a lot of teachers. There's a lot of preachers. There's a lot of courses. There's so many different ways that we can get information in this day and age. And it is glorious. We have so much information at our fingertips, but it can get confusing. People can contradict each other. And realistically, you don't need 50 different people talking in your ear. You just need a handful that are going to give you wisdom and teach you what you need to know for the times you need to know it. One of the people that I have had as my teacher over the last year has been my friend Jamie Samples. She is a genius at email marketing, and she is the sweetest person. So she's one of the people that I have chosen to listen to make an effort to sit down for listening to webinars, all that stuff. The other thing that you can do, and this is more on the home front, it applies to business as well. There is a book called The Lazy Genius Way by Kendra Adachi, and she has the decide once rule for herself that she shares in the book. And I think it's great because she has deciding one uniform to wear on a day of the week. So on Mondays, she always wears a black shirt and, probably jeans or leggings or whatever. So she has a Monday uniform that she doesn't have to think about. It's Monday morning. She throws on a black shirt. She's ready to rock and roll. Life was so much easier when I was in the Navy and they told me what to wear. I had 3 different options that I could pick from, and I didn't have to think about what I was wearing. It gets a lot more complicated when you have so many choices. Going back to the benefits of deciding and sticking with your decisions, eliminating decision fatigue. We have so many decisions. If we can just decide something and go with that, we'll be better off. One other thing that we've done that's helped with my meal planning at home is to have one meal that I do on certain days of the week. And that shows up currently as pasta on Wednesday night and as macaroni and cheese for the kids on Saturday afternoon for their lunch. So those are the 2 times when I'm like, I know what we're having. This is what we're having. And we've actually also started doing leftovers or breakfast foods on Fridays. So that's been helpful. And it really just, like I said, eliminates the decision fatigue. I don't have to think about it, and it works out really well because then the kids also know, hey, it's Wednesday, I can get excited for pasta. Number 2, and I've already said this a couple times, but intentionality. I recently did a podcast where an interview, and reflecting upon it, I realized how much I've been successful in the areas of life and business because I've made intentional decisions and I've stuck with them. So it's combining the 2 things that I'm saying are 3 things to go into the new year with. The intentionality is something that I think we live in a day and a time when if we don't decide what's important to us and stick with that, others are going to tell us what's important and what the world is saying is important, what society says, what culture says. And we as Christians need to be firm. We need to be firm in our beliefs. We need to be firm in our relationship with Jesus. And we need to be intentional about what we're using our time for and how we are stewarding what we've been given. The whole idea of intentionality is cliche. I will give you that. But I think we really, as the more that I live things out and the more that I run my business and the more that I'm working with my kids, we have to be intentional. We have to be intentional about putting away our phones so that we can give our kids one-on-one attention and look them in the face and have a conversation with them. We need to be intentional about the type of business owners that we're going to be, living out our core values. And we need to be intentional with our time with Jesus, because if we don't take that time with him, the world's going to use our time, and we need to be anchored in Jesus. I have an anchor tattoo because it reminds me, number 1, of my service in the Navy. Number 2, it reminds me that we have a hope that's anchored in Jesus. in the world that is so hopeless and so full of distraction and so unpeaceful, which is totally not a word, but I can't think of another one right now. Disruptive, I guess, and chaotic. We have peace in Jesus, but we need to anchor ourselves there, and we need to do it intentionally. As a business owner, you have to have tenacity and grit. Those are the characteristics that are so important when you set out to accomplish great things, because you're sticking your heels in and not wavering in that decision. And so those can be so good when we are focusing on what's important to us, when we're making those right decisions and we are deciding, okay, this is where I stand, this is what I'm going to do, and nobody's going to take that away from me except for Jesus. And we need to listen to Jesus when he says go the other direction. All right, and then the last one is structure. I had to throw structure in because God is not a God of chaos. He has made so much order in the world. He has put things in place the way he wants them. And we need to have structure in our lives. We need to have structure to be successful. We need to have structure to help our kids and our families, because without structure here at home, the rest of the world can be so shaky. And we need to have structure that's going to be beneficial for them, for the way that our homes are run, and for our business. One of the main ways that I'm going to encourage you in the next 12 months to do this is through rest. Because we, as moms, as business owners, as women, we're givers. More than likely, you are in a giving role, or you are in a caretaking role, potentially 2 times over if you're taking care of your parents and your kids. I just came out of a tough season where it's been more chaotic the last month. My husband changed jobs a few times, and I feel like things were just up in the air. We had no idea what was going on. It's settled now, thankfully. But being homeschooling, having the kids here, my business, we needed that structure. And I will tell you that I have been doing some other discipling and some other church things. And so I sat down thinking about this tonight, and I was like, I am tired. I'm tired from giving. I'm tired from discipling. I'm tired of taking care of all the things. But I need to stop doing it in my own strength. And I need to seek Jesus' strength. So I am preaching to the choir today, whatever time of the day it is, preaching to the choir, because I need to pray more and do things with the strength that God is giving me, instead of trying to do it all through my own ability, in my own strength, because my strength is not enough. And one of the ways that we can do that is through having restful routines and creating a structure in our week that is restful. We can burn out if we're doing all the things in our own energy. And the best way to get that rest is through continuously being in prayer. And I'm not saying like in your knees, in your room, because that's not realistic. But we are told in the Bible to be praying at all times. So just having a running dialogue with Jesus, like remembering that he's there to talk to, and we can not take things on ourselves, but we can say, okay, Jesus, I really need you to help my friend with this. Like, I'm not capable of being there for a friend whose husband's deployed but you are Lord. So show up, give her peace, show her how you are taking care of her in this moment. So that, and then Jesus took time away to pray and be alone, when he himself was needing to be restored. He talked to hundreds of people a day, and he himself needed to go and spend time with the Lord and just seek peace and calm and quiet. I understand that this can be a challenge. However, I want to encourage you to figure out how you can do this. For me, it's been not having the radio on when I'm driving the kids somewhere, or, I'm in the car myself and I'm on my own, and I'll just have that time as quiet. And it's either restorative because nobody's talking to me and I am alone with my thoughts, which actually helps for creativity, which we need as business owners, or it's a time where I can pray and God can talk and I don't have distractions aside from driving, which you should pay attention while you're driving. 2 hands on the wheel, no videoing, all that good stuff, okay? So, going into this next year, decisive action, intentionality, and structure, and restful routines. That, if you incorporate it, will help you be more successful this next year. It will help you follow after what the Lord is asking you to do and help you in your calling to steward your home and steward your business. If you need support in these areas, I have my group coaching program that I would love to talk to you about if you would like to apply for that. It is a weekly meeting that we get together and you can come and just ask me questions. I can give you marketing help. I can give you idea generation. I can help you in your home with your routines, with creating structure, with holding you accountable to actually doing what you're saying you're going to do, and all other things. You can find out more at daniellemroberts.com/group is the link for that. You can also message me and ask me questions. I'd love to answer your questions for you. What my heart is and what I continue to work towards is to equip, encourage, and empower you to thrive in the life that God has given you where He's planted you. Because He has given you a calling. He's created you for this. He's created you for your home, for your kids, for your business. And I want to help you, take you from where you are to where you want to be, to where God's calling you to step into and potentially take a leap of faith as you get there. So I can lead and guide and give you all the ideas to help you do that. Again, for that, it's daniellemroberts.com/group. And I look forward to having you in the group, or even just asking me questions, shooting me a message, and I will do my best to help you. Okay. Go forward, being blessed and following through with the calling that God has placed on your life. Doing it intentionally with decisive action and rest. I'll talk to you later, guys. Bye.